I will never say that I tolerate the rain or the mud, but winning races does help the feeling. When you're racing horses and things don't go well as a horseman or a trainer, it's very, very important to get to the bottom of what is wrong. Now, you go back 3, 4, 5 weeks ago when we were racing White Tiger, we saw that little bit of blood, and I had some real reservations about putting him on Lasix, but you have to treat the symptoms of a horse, because in his case there was more than one issue going on, and to chip away and chip away and chip away at them and get them back into form, well, that's just horsemanship. So when White Tiger bled and we put him on Lasix, good. Then we found out his liver count was high, and I told you guys that this count is not, and it wasn't perfect today. We didn't take it, I don't think, this week. For what? I can tell you his liver count was probably around 70 or 80, which is still twice what it should be. But considering where it was on that day that we qualified of 205, now there may be people out there that are vets or work with vets or that are horsemen. You might say, well, I don't know how high that is, because every blood machine, whether you're a different vet clinic, will have different scales. So in this case, if you do have some familiarity with GGT liver counts, on the scale that Tim uses, Tim's veterinarian, it's 0 to 36, which it probably is for you. I think the 4, but 0 to 6 is the one that Tim uses, Tim's vet uses. White Tiger's 205. This isn't a muscle count that you can get down easily. Again, if you have any knowledge of liver issues, and it seems more prevalent across the board in horse years for some reason. If you have any knowledge of the liver count, then you know that 205 is extraordinarily high. So Pines jumped in January, and we rested him for 5 weeks. His was only 170 when we rested him. White Tiger's was 205. We tried to race him the next week. Dave Blown come up to me today and said, I can't get that horse to relax when I drive him. He said, he seems so quiet when you go with him. I said, well, in fairness to you, White Tiger, it almost seems like if you put him in an impossible position to win from behind, he will. And then you go ahead and put him in a perfect position where you certainly can't lose, and he will. So it's a little frustrating, but that's just how White Tiger's always been. Anytime he's won, you're like, wow, he raced good. And so many times he's got beat, you're like, how did he possibly lose? One, that's White Tiger, and two, that would be that liver. I said, Dave, the day you went with him, it was still high, really high. And then I said, no more. After Dave's race, no more. We gave him 2 weeks. I schooled him, and I was going to look at it as, okay, you tell me when you're ready. I see the blood, I see a tie. You tell me when you're ready to go. And then his schooler was so good last week. Obviously I was guarded about how I thought he'd race today, but honestly, that was a bad bunch of horses and a real sloppy track. But that's as good as I've seen White Tiger for quite some time. He was quiet. When I moved him, he was all business. He didn't have that crazy freak speed. He was going around horses that were going the other way. But he raced well. He usually hesitates when he gets the horses. Didn't hesitate today, and I didn't even have to ask him. If you watch the race, that's as easy as a win as you're ever going to see. Get away 2 lengths behind the slowest horse in front of you. Wait until the half, or whenever you want, really. Move him over into the 3-wide lane. Let him sail. Don't really give him his head, though. Just keep the bit in his mouth and let him trot forward. White Tiger was good today. And I was so happy, and one of my partners on the horse say, did that feel good? Anytime that horse wins, it feels good. And it did trump the rain today. It did trump the rain today. And I despise inclement weather. I had a good day. First, second, and third, I had 2 drives for a guy I've known for a long time, Kevin Johnson. And The first horse followed along, finished third, race good. The last horse, which was the second horse at Kevin's, got a little dicey. I know I probably pissed off Mike Wilder, and what are you gonna do? It's racing. You know, I'm sure he'll get over it. I know he's a nice guy, but at the same time, I come to race. I made front with Ding Ding Dinger, I think his name was, and there's a long shot coming. Mike Wilder's in behind me. Now, if Mike wanted to be a dick, he could have waited until the long shot cleared to the front, removed before I got a chance to, stung me. In fact, I might have done that if I was Mike Wilder. I'm not a nice guy in the track all the time. So, I might have. No, he waited for me to remove and he came. Now, the problem I had was, I already moved him twice hard to the lead. But when Mike come, he's got the earplugs in and a bow in his neck like we're long-lost buddies. I said, I work for the stable. I don't work for UNICEF. You got to work a little bit. And I was going to let him go. Watch the replay. He's halfway around me. I'm going to let you go, but you got to work, man. You got to get there. So we got to the turn and I come back through. It's racing. What are you going to do? Races are going to break out in horse racing. It's crazy. So I pushed back through. We raced, and now the horse raced his guts out. I don't know much about him, but he raced hard to be moved twice, and I don't know what claimer that was, and I know he was claimed. Another reason I wasn't going to, just run him up the wood or duck him. But old Dinger hung on top. There's no way he could see the horse that beat me. I could barely see the horse that beat me. I thought maybe I'm trying to watch the TV, and there's mud in my eyes, and whatever. I could hear them call the 4 after the wire. Paddock, so the horse raced great. It was a great day of racing. White Tiger was, for how bad he's been, really sensational, to be honest. Kevin's 2 horses were second and third, so it was a good day. I gave Tim my suit to wash, so I didn't have to when I get home, because I'm going to have to race in the mud again tomorrow. We get 2 other fillies that probably aren't mudders. Aglaire AM and One My Heart Hanover. They're both low odds again. Aglaire's had a good week, trained well. I think she'll race well for Tim tomorrow. One My Heart Hanover, flip-flops on in the mud. I was going to take the flip-flops off her this week when she was in Ohio. So we just had the vet go over her, and he said, all I can find is feet and back. That's her MO. Her feet start pinching her back gets tight, and then she swings to the pace. So you always have to work on her feet. If we weren't going into a stallion series, maybe we would have put maybe a heavy full swedge on her or something to that nature to race her in, but I just didn't want to risk it. She's raced in flip-flops in the winter, in the mud, in the fast track, deep tracks, hard tracks, her whole life. This track will get hard when it gets muddy, so I'm sure she'll be fine tomorrow. 2 fillies look good tomorrow. I got something else again for Kevin Johnson tomorrow. Should have a good day. Nothing in Northfield Saturday. I think I got something Sunday, a couple of horses Sunday maybe. But for the most part, it's been a pretty good week. And I think it's worth noting, and for those of you that are horsemen out there, you'll understand what I'm talking about, is we start to sell off some of the horses that are finding it difficult here, and we continue to race horses that have great shots to win. You're going to see the entire stable get elevated. Winning just seems to be the high tide that floats all boats, and when you get the stable in a good position where the horses are racing well, it just seems like they all race better. So we've had offers, active offers on Italian Grit, which we're going to take. Fox Valley Britsko, which we'll likely take. A couple of other horses that probably nice horses, they're not going to do for us. We've gone over this. I don't want to keep beating this drum. It is what it is. But for right now, I'm happy with what I see at the stable. The babies are training good. The horses in Ontario looked a little bit better today. I think maybe Mario watched my video from yesterday, because the horses were all in a position to do well, and they did. They did. The horse that wowed me today, I think 2 or 3 starts at a Walk on the Moon, you're going to see the old Walk on the Moon show up, which could be good for us. The horse that really caught my eye today was Northern Blizzard. Johnny has been so careful with him. James has done a great job with him. And Shelby, who is in Ohio, actually a caretaker here in Ohio, owns just a tiny little piece of northern blizzard, and I know she was probably happy today. It was a big mile today for that horse. He looked good doing it. It's not easy to get away from the rail at Mohawk, and he looked like he had no problems whatsoever. So a great job by Mario to get these horses qualified, and a great job by Johnny and Harry and Jason. Listen, I know I put a lot of pressure on them, especially after yesterday, but a great job by everybody to get everybody qualified today. So a nasty day on both sides of the border, but we're rewarded here with a win from White Tiger and some good-looking horses heading into the racing season. Yes, the staking season, but first and foremost, get back to racing in Ontario. So, everybody, thank you for the kind notes. I wasn't fishing for pats on the back when it comes to the stable. I know everybody knows we do the best we can. I was just trying to clarify the disconnect between what you saw and what I saw, or what I was waiting for from yesterday's qualifiers. So I think we got a couple more tomorrow. So good luck with those horses. I know we have Peanut. Don't believe me, just watch. I think we got a couple more, but one for sure. So good luck with him. I'll be watching. I'm trying to get back to Ontario next week. Thursday might be the only day. I may have to sneak back to Ontario on Thursday if I can. We'll see. I do want to check in with some of the babies and see what's going on. So it may be a Thursday sneak attack into my birth country. I don't know where my home is now, so into my birth country on Thursday. I will talk to you guys soon. It is not a nice day, but it is a nice day, all at the same time. Take care.